Hi guys, so I'm changing the flowers that I put in that I bought the other time. This is because some of you have asked me how long do the flowers last. As you can see, the roses died, yes, but the rest of the flowers are still going quite strong. We've been changing water, but not every day, so that's what I want to do now. As I tell you that today I want to do a batch cooking video for a week. Yes, here's why. One, because when I meet a lot of you guys, and today I met an amazing lady by the name of Susan. So she was like, I tried, but the batch cooking, she's the one who talked about batch cooking, or someone else anyway. Someone said batch cooking is fun, but they've not been able to do for a month. Actually, I've had that a lot. So I was like, why not try to do a batch cooking for a week? Then we see how this goes. So that's what I'm doing today. So if you go to City Market to buy flowers and you want these ones, they call them tropical flowers. They still have a bit of life left in them, but I need to trim a bit of the edges just to expose more flower. I don't know. So let me know in the comment section below whether you've ever tried batch cooking. I have great recipes I can't share with you guys, but I just thought I can't start filming a video and then with all this deadness around here, you'll start wondering. And then also, I want to make a lovely carrot cake because it's cake. Let's do this, guys. I'm so glad you're here. And did I mention that it's Sunday afternoon and we've just come from church? Water that I'm putting in the flowers is water mixed with Sprite, as we did in the last video, and I found it really helps the flowers to last for long. The key thing is just make sure that we keep trimming the edges, the bottom of the flower, so that they're able to absorb more water. So the things that I want to cook for our next week are cowpeas. We bought these cowpeas from the supermarket, you guys. I don't like buying these things from the supermarket, but I haven't gotten a chance to go to the market yet. So I have some cowpeas. What I've done is I boiled them in 5 minutes and then I'm soaking them. Then I have some dengu and then I have some lentils. That's it. Then I'll make some chicken. We passed by supermarket and City Market, bought some chicken. I'll put the contact down below. And then we have some leftover beef from the slaughterhouse. And then we also passed by our local market and bought some carrots and some tomatoes and some fruits like bananas, melon, oranges, and all that jazz. I had to buy leeks from the supermarket because our local market does not have them. One of the challenges I find with batch cooking weekly, is that I don't feel like it warrants a trip to Marikiti, waking up at 5:30 a.m. if you watched our last video. So I feel like, okay, since I'm just cooking for 1 week, let me just buy just here. But it ends up being more expensive. But we'll figure something out. So some of this stuff I just bought locally, and some I have to buy from the supermarket, although the price wasn't that different, by the way, thankfully. So that's what I want to do. And then I also want to make some chapati dough. Put it in the freezer. Yes, you can do that, so that the day that we are making the chapati, it will just be removing, rolling, and frying, making life so much easier. Plus the aforementioned carrot cake, because it's been a while since we had cake over here, and we love cake over here. Yeah, let's do this again. Okay, now on to the cooking. First thing is obviously to boil the lentils. And I'm so glad I remembered to soak these cowpeas for like an hour with hot boiling water, because they're going to cook much, much faster. And I'm going to put them in the pressure cooker. And then the rest, I'm just going to boil them in the normal cooking pots. Shouldn't take long because it's like dengu and split lentils and all that jazz. I also need to boil the beef so that just get most of the boiling out of the way, because it's what is going to take long as I get ready for the rest of the ingredients. It is so nice to have a colander in my kitchen, finally. We bought this one at Kamukunji, if you watched our Kamukunji shopping haul video. And yeah, it's so nice. It's so nice when you're boiling, when you're washing some of these things, you don't have to use your hand to hold on to them so they don't pour down the drain. I mean, as the dishes are boiling, as the lentils are boiling, I decided to wash some of these dishes that we had for lunch. And you guys, normally our kitchen doesn't have that little dishes on Sunday afternoon. It's normally a mountain. It's normally so bad. But what happened today, I was so jazzed. When the rest of us were having lunch, my amazing husband decided to wash the rest of the dishes, the breakfast dishes. Our kitchen had been a mess. So I just have very little dishes to wash. That's what we used for lunch, so that I can start my cooking in a clean kitchen. Man, I love this guy. He's so helpful. For those who might not know, today is Sunday and it is our helps day off. And it also happens to be one of my busiest days, because I've found most Sunday afternoons I am doing something in the kitchen. But I don't mind, because she works so hard for us and she's gone. So she deserves a day off. And when I'm able to, I even give her 2 or 3 days off so she can go hang out with her peeps, which is so nice. Oh, check out my little helper. have to take a break from meal prepping for the week to make dinner. Now, let me tell you guys. I was going through some magazines in my house, and I found this old magazine that has this recipe for pasta carbonara. I've always heard about pasta carbonara. I mean, it sounds so gisty. So I was like, that's what I want to make for dinner for my people. So that's what I'm doing. In case you're interested, let me tell you how we make it. Now that I've gotten the magazine, I've just realized that it says we should serve this, no sharp. We should serve this with a rocket and tomato salad. Well, I can assure you I did not do that. I hadn't seen that part of the recipe. So we're going to need some spaghetti, and then you need some back bacon, roughly chopped, and then you need some olive oil. Let's just call it oil, okay? I mean, olive oil, my gosh. And then you need some garlic cloves. You need some spring onions, which I didn't have, so I substituted with the leeks. And then you need 4 large eggs. You'll need single cream. Again, I didn't have. I don't know what single cream is. I just used milk, you guys. And then some salt and pepper and some cheese, all right? So what we do is just boil your spaghetti for like 10 minutes or 8 minutes. And then, as it is boiling, fry the bacon in the oil until it is crisp. Remove the bacon from the pan and use the remaining oil to fry your onions. No, not your onions, your garlic and your leeks. Then remove everything from the heat, okay? Then, now we're at the point where the spaghetti is cooked and you have drained it. Then you need to beat together your eggs and your milk with a little bit of black pepper and salt, if you so wish, and then you set it aside. What you're going to do now, I know everybody's going to have a hue and cry about this. What you're going to do is, once you have drained your pasta, you're going to stir in your bacon and your eggs and your cheese. Pour in the egg mixture and stir. Now, remember, we are not eating raw eggs, my good human beings. The pasta is so hot that it immediately cooks the egg mixture. And the heat from the pasta just cooks the eggs and gives you a very nice and creamy sauce. All right? And serve immediately. Okay, with a tomato and some type of lettuce salad, which I didn't do. It is easy, it is simple. It took me 40 minutes to do this. It's nice. lot of you have asked me, what do you do to make your kids eat the food that you cook and all that? Hey, well, this is one time when my kiddos did not particularly enjoy this dish. I don't know why, you guys. It was so amazing and creamy and awesome. My husband and I both had 2 plates, I won't even lie. But the kids did not like it. Our help did not like it. So more for me, I say. So thankfully we had some bananas, which they had. And they slept. And they're still alive up to this day. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and life goes on. But we're just improving our cooking skills, guys. So our help is helping me with the dinner dishes, which is so good, so that when I start cooking, it's gonna go very, very fast. And now it's time to get on to the main cooking. Remember, most of the ingredients are chopped, and yeah, so let me start with this main portion. I have 4 fires, and I'm going to make 4 dishes at the same time. I'm making the cowpeas, I'm making the dengu. What's dengu in English, you guys? Green grams. And then I'm making, I said cowpeas, green grams, and the lentils, and then the beef. All right, this goes by very fast. We haven't had these lentils before. Okay, it's been a while. The last time I cooked them, I think I must have been in campus or something. They are so yummy, you guys. I know most of us normally just pass them in the supermarket, but Ebu, try them. They are so delicious. As those are boiling away now, or simmering away, not boiling, please don't come at me for boiling my food. I think it's time to make the carrot cake, because it's gonna take a while in the oven anyway. You need to sit up and take note of this carrot cake recipe, because it delivered. It did what it was supposed to do. It understood the assignment, and it even did its neighbor's assignment. Okay, so I'm using 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1.25 cups of oil, 1 cup of regular sugar, and 1 cup of brown sugar lightly packed. Okay, here is where I will say I did not use all this sugar. It's too much. I used 1 cup of regular sugar and a half cup of brown sugar. Then you need 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 4 large eggs, 3 cups of grated carrots, 1 cup of chopped nuts, and a half a cup of raisins. Before I started making this carrot cake, I spent a whole 5 minutes, even 10 minutes, going up and down in my kitchen looking for baking powder. I looked and I was, oh my gosh, regretting why didn't I buy it. I was in the supermarket today and I didn't buy baking powder. Now I'm making this cake. Now what will I do? I have to cancel the whole thing and all that, only to go back to the recipe and find that I don't actually need baking powder. So those are 10 minutes of my life that I will never get back again. Gosh, old age is catching up, you guys. Or is it mommy brain? Or both? Okay, now I'm talking too much. I'll make this very fast. So preheat the oven to 180 degrees and then grease your baking pan and line it. We'll talk about the mistake I made with the baking pan later. Then you need to whisk your dry ingredients, your flour, your baking soda, your salt, and your cinnamon in a bowl and put it aside. Make sure they're very well blended. Then in a separate bowl, you whisk the oil, the sugar, and the vanilla. Once they have mixed nicely, add in the eggs one at a time, whisking after each egg. Then you need to switch to a rubber spatula. Guys, I'm just reading the recipe, okay? So, or a muiko, or a cooking stick, all right? Then you scrape the sides of the dish, make sure everything is nice and even in the middle. And then now you start adding your dry ingredients, like in 3 parts, okay? Then you need to start stirring gently. Now you're not beating so much that you were beating the eggs. Stir gently until all the flour has disappeared and your butter is smooth. Then you're going to put in. At this point, I thought, oh my gosh, this is so dry. This cake is gonna be like rocks. No. When you stir in your carrot and your nuts, which I pounded the life out of, and if you have raisins, stir them in too. The carrots have so much juice that it makes everything runny and smooth again. Dried. I was really nicely surprised. Then you're going to put it in your baking tin and you're going to bake until the toothpick comes out clean. About 45 minutes. Now, you guys, mine took so much longer because, you know the way they say you should bake this in a 9x13 tin or whatever. I just took the first baking tin I saw and this is what I used to bake. It was too deep and too high. My cake took ages to get cooked in the middle. So I highly suggest don't use a baking pan like this one. Use something that is flatter and wider. It's going to take that 45 minutes. Mine took like an hour. Then you're going to leave it to cool in the pan for like 10 minutes. Then remove from the pan and put it on a cooling rack for another 10 minutes. Okay? I didn't do neither of that because it was really smelling delicious. And I had to taste it. But there is your carrot cake recipe. Try it, please. I'm making very good progress. The only thing that remains is the chicken stew and the chapati dough. Normally, I will marinate the chicken. I don't normally cook the chicken lately. I just marinate it. If you've seen any of the older batch cooking videos, and put it in the freezer, and then we just remove it and we grill it in the oven. We roast it in the oven. But I've missed a nice chicken stew, so that's what I'm making today. I want to sear this chicken on a pan and then I'm going to stew it. Stirring it just makes it not break apart so easily once you stew it, and gives it a nice finish on top. Another thing I realized, you guys, after I bought the chicken, is I forgot to tell the guys to cut it for me into 3 pieces, the chicken legs. So they cut them only into 2 pieces, and these are huge pieces of chicken. My kids can't even finish a whole one. It's okay. So yeah, you're fine. You will figure it out as time goes. So I want to do that. So I'm making the chicken stew, and yeah. Once that is done, I'm done with the chicken as it is boiling away. I try not to overboil. One of the main reasons why I don't like cooking chicken for the freezer in a stew is because it just falls apart when we come to warm it again. So I just think anyway, I don't overboil it. I just make sure it's cooked and ready. Now I just want to mix up this chapati dough. I've done a whole video on how to make nice soft chapatis. Please check it out if you still struggle with that. And this dough will keep very well in the freezer until the day we need to cook it. We'll just remove it from the freezer like 3 hours before, let it thaw nicely on the counter. Boom, and we continue with the yumminess. And this is the final product. I must say, cooking for 1 week was very hard for me, because even when you buy 1 kilogram of dengu, it's not going to serve to just yield one meal. It will yield at least 2. And if I had gone to the market and had got a lot of vegetables, probably 3. But I cooked 1 kg of dengu, 1 kg of lentils, 1 kg of cowpeas, and this is all I got. The beef was too much for 2 meals and yet too little for 3 meals. I don't know. So yeah, I'm so glad I tried this. Please let me know if you're going to try batch cooking for at least a week, if not 2 weeks, and let me know how it goes. It makes life so much easier. We're walking into this week so well prepared. I mean, check this out. And now it's time for this hardworking team to sit down and enjoy some well-deserved carrot cake. Okay, I'm supposed to have served it with black tea, but I did not. And we still enjoyed it. The nuts give it such a nice crunchy taste. Please don't skip out on putting the crushed nuts. Oh my gosh, it was so delicious. Thanks for hanging out. You are always such good company. Bye.